at Stamford Bridge. Well, we had an 8-game Saturday for you in the Premier League. It hasn't disappointed with the first 7. Liverpool winning the Merseyside derby, Gary O'Neill winning back at Bournemouth with Wolves, Brentford back to winning ways, so too Manchester City against Brighton, 4-star show from Newcastle against Crystal Palace, Forest with 2 up, Luton came back to get a 2-2, as did Arsenal at Chelsea, and very shortly indeed we're off to South Yorkshire for Manchester United at Sheffield United. One big game for you on Sunday is Villa against West Ham on the Monday Night Football. As I say, Spurs, if they beat Fulham, they will be back on top of the tree. We're going to watch the bottom club very shortly, Sheffield United, at the moment with just 1 point. They are propping up the Premier League table. Bournemouth still under Iraola, waiting for that first win with just 3 points. Burnley, the other team, in the drop zone. And as I say, Arsenal have gone level on points with Manchester City. Both played 9, just 2 goals better off the champions. Then come Liverpool and Spurs, who will be top if they win on Monday. Chelsea are 9th on 12 points.
Well, Declan, I suppose sometimes you bring your best football and everything seems easy and maybe you steamroll the opponent. Other times you need heart and grit and you need to find a way to get something. Was today the latter?
Yeah, definitely. I think first half from us probably the worst we've played all season in terms of sloppiness, not doing things in our structure, not doing things in how we've worked. But also that's massive credit to Chelsea. You know, the manager said this week that they've been really unlucky this season. You know, they were a tough opponent. They've got some incredible players. It was never going to be easy. But to show that heart, that character, you know, when you're 2-0 down, 15 to go, sometimes it's about that inner belief, that mindset that you can do it. And once I got the first, and you know, we kept pushing. It's about driving the team on and making sure that everyone else believes that we can get something here. So in the end, it's a positive result from where we come from.
Just something you said there. What weren't you doing in your structure? And was that sort of on you guys, or was that something Chelsea were doing? No, you know, it was almost like 6 in midfield, wasn't it?
Yeah,
which would have made it tough, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think Chelsea, the way they worked in midfield, made it really compact. But even us on the ball, my first pass wasn't good enough for the game. I give it away, sloppy pass, ends in an attack.
Did you give them a lot of early encouragement?
I think so, yeah. I think we give away one in the box in the first 5 minutes. I give away one. Some sloppy errors in front to go up in the other end. But I think second half, you know, we showed what we're about, that belief, that hunger, never said die attitude. And, you know, to stay unbeaten as well so far, you know, it's a name for us that we want to keep doing.
And it just looked, it was starting to feel like it was slipping away, wasn't it, when you got your goal? Did you feel that?
Do you know what, when you look up at the clock and, you know, Chelsea, you know, we've gone full gas for the whole game and you start to run out of legs. But when I latch onto that one and put it in, you find a second bit of energy, shall I say, and, you know, what a cross. And, you know, obviously Trossard, all the subs who come on were outstanding today. It's a massive team effort. You know, it's about the team always, and I think today we showed great heart and character.
Just tell us about the picture you saw for your goal, because we see those types of mistakes from goalkeepers quite a bit, because obviously most teams are looking to play out, but they're not always punished.
Yeah, I think it was the fact that the angle of where I was, instead of driving the ball with my laces, you know, I kind of had to curl it away from the keeper. And luckily enough, I think it hit the post and went in, or hit the side.
Not lucky, Declan. Not lucky.
No, obviously it was this quick instinct. You know, you've got a split second decision whether to pass the ball forward and someone else have a shot, or I take it on. And, you know, obviously I took it on, I scored, was obviously buzzing, but we're still 2-1 down at that point, and, you know, I wanted us to kick on, and, you know, we did that.
And very lastly, nice to get the goal here, given your journey, your story with Chelsea.
Yeah, I've been due one here, to be fair. Obviously I always wish the club well. You know, it's a club who's always done massive things for me in the past, you know, especially at the start of my career. So no, it was nice to get a goal here, but more importantly, I'm so happy for the Arsenal fans today, and obviously for the team.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yes, they got a point. He said it wasn't good enough, and they went 2-0 down. And tell me Mudryk was definitely crossing here, wasn't he?
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
He was lucky to get a goal anyway. So therefore, that was a lucky break, and especially in the beginning of the second half. So that broke a little bit, you know, the attitude of Arsenal. He wanted to cross it, and it just went over it. So it was lucky. I want somebody to interview him and ask him if it was.
I think that you can see
any issue at all with Raya's positioning, right?
I don't think so, because if you look at his head, Raya's looking at him, thinking that he's trying to put a cross in. Yeah. So he's trying to make sure that he kind of like guards that. He's not expecting that. No. You can't blame the keeper for that at all, how that's gone in. But, like, you know, a goal's a goal, you know.
It's a missed kick.
It's a missed kick, of course.
But it went in, and, you know, it counts. And then that moment, I think that Chelsea was playing well because I had a feeling that Arsenal was withdrawing a little bit. They gave them a little bit more space to have a build-up. And until 75th, so this is an easy game for Chelsea.
And the three of us are having a conversation throughout the game, in general, about goalkeepers playing out for the back and teams taking risks. And then suddenly, this happens with Sanchez, Ruud.
Yeah, we call it in Holland the Dutch disease because we always want to play from the back. And this is, look, but this is, you know, sometimes you need to understand when you have to kick the ball away or when you have to play on. And I think that was a bad decision. And it put them in the driving seat again.
I think it was a brilliant technique because, like he said, he had to make sure it was curling away from the keeper. And he had a split second to actually execute that. And that is the kind of thing for a team that's fighting for something. That was a break they needed.
And for any substitute, the manager's told, go on and make an impact. Now, Trossard hasn't just done this today. As I say, 3 Premier League goals, they've all come off the bench. He does make a difference.
Well, he does, but like you look at this, you know, it's great cross from Saka. I think when we see it from the other angle, you know, Gusto's got to have a word with himself. You know, Havertz does well here. There's a presence in there, so that keeps the ball in that last third, and they win it back here. But like, you know, once he gets back involved, they've got to be
looks at him.
They cannot let Saka come back inside here. He looks at him, Gusto, and then he leaves him.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the 2 bits of quality what Arsenal needed to show. It was Declan Rice's brilliant finish and this by Saka's pinpoint cross for Trossard to finish. Those are the moments that, you know, gave us a point today.
It's a great goal, but it's ball watching, you know. You don't need to do that. The guy on the ball is not the threat. The threat is all behind you, and you need to watch it. And that's where most of the time, where the Italians were always good in, because they always keep a hand on you, always like this, to feel where you are. But the distance is too much, so he doesn't know where he is. So that's. But a great cross, Saka.
Yeah,
great cross. They believed in it, and all of a sudden, it's 2-2, and you have a feeling as a Chelsea fan that you've thrown something away. I think that Pochettino would be very, very disappointed with this result.
Nearly got better. You were out. Have you seen Eddie Nketiah?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I thought it was very opportunist, trying to be very opportunistic in this particular incident, because like once this gets to him, Saliba does brilliantly again there. Great run from Eddie, you know, great run from him, and I thought that he wasn't going to quite get there, but then just sticks the toe out, just unlucky. You know, this is the run. Brilliant run, shows good pace in between the defenders, and he gets there just in front of Silva. And, you know, that is unlucky. That's a great effort from Eddie.
And let's remind ourselves how Chelsea took the lead in the first half, because a lot of people having their opinion on this and what is or isn't handball. The referee didn't give it on field first of all.
No, I was surprised how long he had to look at it. It's a penalty. You know, it's a handball for clear. So I didn't know what he was watching, you know, if it was intentional, not intentional. The thing is, his hands are out. It looks like he heads the ball towards the goal. Okay, if it goes on goal, we don't know yet, but it looks like it. Yeah, you know, if that's not a penalty, I don't know. It's a penalty.
But
it's harsh.
Yeah, of course. The current climate, it is a penalty.
The rule says that it is a penalty.
You look at it there, it's not even going in the goal. I would have said, listen, if it's going in the goal, I'd say, no. You know what I mean? But the way the law is, it's the mess. The penalty handball law, it's a mess all over the place.
What would you like to see?
You see what I'd like to see in this instant? If he's heading that ball, it's going on target, then I'll say, you know something, he's stopped a goal-scoring opportunity. But if you see it and it's going off target, especially as a defender...
So that doesn't matter?
No, not for me. Not for me, because the defender has not made himself unnatural in the way. He's trying to give himself leverage to go and head the ball, and his arms there. That's not intentional. And I know that intentional has nothing to do with it now, but at the same time, they've got to look at that. That's harsh.
That's very different. Yeah, it's a difficult rule.
We saw Sterling want to take it. Palmer did take it, and Palmer scored it. Now, one quick... The goalkeeper, Sanchez, coming out and catching...
It happened already a couple of times. And for me, this is a penalty. And I cannot understand. They are above here. The VAR is above this studio. And this is a foul. You just... Look,
nowhere near the goalkeeper.
Nowhere near. Not even... Look, this is a penalty. If you do that as a player...
He's missed the whole ball.
It's unbelievable for me. And he also, you know, he can get hurt like that. And I think it happened also with Man United one game.
Yeah, on
Onana against Wolves, yeah.
Same thing, you know, and I don't understand why this is not a penalty. It's a clear foul. You come too late, and you can hurt somebody. So I think that is definitely for me a penalty. They should do something about it. VAR upstairs, guys.
If he's coming this far,
and he's just too late.
He's made a foul, but at the same time, you know, Jesus is in amongst the bodies. You have to look at that. If he catches Tomiyasu, you probably say something.
No.
But like the fact that Jesus is in amongst the bodies, you know, people will say, well, Jesus was nowhere near the ball, but at the same time,
Doesn't
the goalkeeper's
matter. He
missed
can't go to the ball either. You know, I think it's a foul. For sure.
I think it's a foul.
It's a foul.
It's a foul.
So
It's
what do
foul.
you do? If it's a foul, then it is a penalty.
I don't know. I don't know what now with IFAB. Or
What are the rules in here?
I don't know anymore.
What is the rules in
I
here?
ain't got a
then?
clue what's going on anymore, you know?
No, we won't ask Righty that. What we do know is you've got a point, Arsenal, and you said it was crucial not to lose the game. They're still unbeaten. They're level on points with Manchester City after all of that.
And the thing with that as well, Steve, is to play as poorly as they played, and you heard Declan Rice say it there, it's going to be interesting to hear Mikel Arteta's interview, but the main thing is not to lose. And it's not just a case of just for Man City, it's just to, when you're not playing well, you find something. Yes, the goalkeeper gave us a chance and we took it well, but you have to get something out of these games away from home because you have to win your home games if you're going for the title. You have to win them.
So Chelsea lead Arsenal in the London derby by a 1-0. Much to discuss. Let's get into it. The big incident after 12 minutes. Rude. Any complaints from a Chelsea point of view?
No, I think it's a penalty. It's a clear penalty. His hands is up, and you know the ball could go to the goal. It's harsh because you need to jump. You need to do something with your arms. You can't jump without it. So he needs to do that. But ball goes to. It could go towards goal. And then it is a penalty. And if that is not a penalty, what is?
Well, interestingly, Righty, Chris Kavanagh didn't give it on field. It needed the intervention of Jared Gillett and VAR. How are you feeling about this?
Well, I think that even there we could see that the header looked like it was missing. I'm not sure how else he's supposed to try and jump to try and win it. His arm is naturally going to go out to his side. And I just feel that the people who made that particular law in respect of that penalty in the proximities, they don't play football. You can't do anything about that. There's nothing Saliba can do about trying to challenge and his arms over there and the ball hits it. There's nothing he can do.
But that is difficult to point out for a referee what is intensive and what is not.
Well,
that is the difficulty. That's why they made this rule to make it a little bit more clear.
Well, then, you know the thing with this one then, Rude, they should look and see, is that definitely going in? Is he stopped a goal-scoring opportunity? Because if you look at it, that's what they should be judging that on because there's nothing Saliba could do to get out of the way of that. So if that's going in the goal, then I don't think I'd complain about it. That's not going in the goal.
Presumably the interpretation is it's out, it's above your head height, it's in an unnatural, above shoulder height.
That don't look unnatural to me in respects of trying to challenge for a ball in the box. His arm's not up here.
But that is true. But you have to draw a line, you know, as a referee to where you should, you know, give a penalty or not. I think it's already difficult for referees to point that out. And they change the rules a lot of times to make it more difficult. The thing is, there's so many grey areas in football that it makes it sometimes difficult to pinpoint everything.
The thing is with Rude, even if Arsenal got that, I'd be saying that's harsh on Chelsea because I'm not sure what the defender could do.
Harsh for sure.
You know, because
but it is a penalty.
Okay, I'll leave it with Rude.
Okay, we must move on. Now, what I must ask you is, Cole Palmer took the penalty, as he did at Burnley, but you noticed just beforehand, Raheem Sterling running across.
No, Ian noticed it. He was seeing this discussion, and I think that, look, he just said, "No, Palmer." I like that, but
you know what's
Palmer,
I like that from Palmer, but I like the fact that the team came round and said, "Let him do it," and Raheem took it. Look, Raheem's going over to celebrate with him. The thing is that Raheem looked a little bit disappointed at first, but then Fernandes came and said something, someone else came and said something, and it's done. And they scored a penalty, and everybody's celebrating together. It's not a bad thing.
It's good for you know, he is a striker, he wants to score goals. And he was eager to take it. I like that. And that's what you need from a striker. So therefore, positive for him.
Okay, so that's the first away goal Arsenal have conceded this season. What has gone wrong with Arsenal? Why have Chelsea stopped them playing?
It's not so much what's gone wrong with Arsenal. I have to give Chelsea credit for the way they've defended. They've defended very well. They know Arsenal want to play out from the back, and when you look at the 4-4-2 that they've got, you can see the space is what they're leaving. You can see space on the wings, and you can see space in the defensive area. Look how much space Chelsea's saying, you can have it there. We haven't got no problems with you having the ball there. But you can see how narrow it is. Look where Cucurella is. Look where Gusto is. They're quite narrow. But then once this ball goes here, look, now Cucurella, you can see even to a certain extent, Saka gets down, he's going to be a bit isolated. But then Cucurella does well. And that's what he's been doing all game. He's not giving him no opportunity to get on the ball, Saka. We can't get them into a one-on-one situation. This is a 4-3-3, and you can see how they've blocked in those two guys. Look where he has to come. Look where, there. Look at Cucurella, in again, in again. They win the ball. Arsenal are not moving it quick enough. They're not brave enough. They're not putting it into areas. People are not making the movement. So we can't get the balls into one-on-one situations so Saka can take him on. And Chelsea are defending well.
But it was hard for Chelsea to keep on doing that. I think they did it for 20 minutes. Then they scored a goal. And then after that, Arsenal had much more of the ball.
But too slow, Ruud.
Too slow. It's not easy. I think they have to have more patience if they want to get to areas where they can score a goal. Chelsea has a lot of difficulty for build-up. Every ball they got, all the time goes back. Eventually it goes to the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper has to have the long ball. How many times they had the long ball, there was nobody there. So therefore, Chelsea is just hoping that Arsenal has the ball, try to nick it from him, and then in a counter-attack try to score a goal. That's a little bit the plan of Chelsea.
Chelsea lead Arsenal by a 0-0 at half-time. It came from the penalty spot. The award of the penalty was contested by Arsenal players, as you would imagine, because the handball rule is probably the most open to interpretation of all the laws in the game. Jimmy, what's your thoughts on this incident?
Well, I think it's for me it's a penalty. It's a good cross from Sterling into the box, and what Mudryk does, he comes across the defender and he heads the ball, and for me that's an unnatural position for the defender, how he's going and where he's putting his arm, and now the rules leaves a grey area, but we have seen that they're giving penalties because of these kind of situations, and with penalties being given in the Premier League,
I need to come in there.
I have
Jim,
to say yes, it's a penalty.
because I just say you said it's an unnatural position. How are you meant to jump then? Because you can't jump like that.
No, you can't. But you can't also not jump like you're flying away with a.
But you have to. But you use your arms to give you balance.
You use your arm, but first of all, his body shape is wrong.
That's not unnatural.
No, but his body shape is wrong.
But the proximity
that's why
of the
he has
ball
to
that
jump
comes in, Jimmy,
his
he's heading that and it hits him 1 yard away. How can that be handball?
Yeah,
Look, one hand, he jumps because he has to jump, Jim.
If you let me speak,
James,
he puts his hands like that and he jumps like that. Well, if you put your hands here and you jump like that, that is different. But he has his arms there.
His arms out here, Jim.
Yeah, exactly.
Jump like that. You can't jump like that.
You can't jump like that.
Your arms for balance.
No, you can't jump like that. But you can also not jump how he's jumping.
Okay, let me just say, if that cross comes in from Raheem Sterling and he misses the flight and it jumps and it hits him on the hand, that's a penalty. He's headed that from half a yard away. It's hitting that. What is he meant to do? If we get to the point where that is handball, the game is in trouble.
But he's also heading it.
We need to get to the penalty itself.
But he's also heading it that the ball is going into the goal.
Yeah, and so that's the second thing. But look, as much as we debated the actual awarding of the decision, they couldn't make their minds up as to who would take it.
Well, listen, Raheem Sterling wanted it. Cole Palmer, it wasn't Di Canio Lampard-esque, but it had a little bit, and I really have so much respect for this young man.
Me as well.
I want to take this penalty.
Me as well.
He stood up.
He has to score it now, though,
he's getting more pressure from his teammates, but what he does really, really well, and penalty taking is not easy. When the referee blows his whistle, he waits. He calms everybody down, and he breaks the momentum of the goalkeeper, and then he takes it.
And he's been the best player on the pitch. He deserves
and that for me is confidence. That for me is having something, a little bit of arrogance.
We feel very disappointed, but they cannot change the analysis and the judgment of the game. I think we were very competitive. Again, a team that is a very good team that was fighting for the Premier League last season.
It's a mixed feeling, because you want to come here and you want to win, and I think we have the capacity to win it. But when we are not at our level, then you come an average team, and when we increase the level, you could feel that we could be the better team and win the game.
Yeah, obviously very disappointed to not get the 3 points, but it's a very good side, one of the best teams in the league, and we went toe-to-toe with him.
No coach can prepare for a goal like Mudryk scored for you today. In the commentary, I thought he meant it. Did he mean it?
Yes.
To be honest, he tried. He knew the position of the keeper that it's possible to score from this position.
Absolutely no way did he mean that. No.
Maybe, come on, Gary.
No.
Sure?
He never looked at the goal once. He was looking, he sliced it. For much of the game, it looked like being a bad evening for Arsenal, didn't it? But with a little bit of help, they found a way back.
Yeah, it was. They were really poor, particularly in that first half. Well, up until about 77 minutes, it was all a bit of a damp squib, I suppose. But there was just no quality. Effort was there, but players you would expect to have that final pass and that little bit of extra that you need, it just wasn't happening for them at all. You saw Rice there. Odegaard on this occasion, that's a poor pass. You'd expect better from him. There's no shots on target. They only had 3 touches in the box in that first half, Arsenal. So they were just all over the place. Misplaced pass after misplaced pass. There's another one there. And Jesus has an effort here. I mean, that's so bad you just wouldn't believe it. But you have to give them credit for the way they stuck in. They had to rely on a mistake, though, from Sanchez. Yeah. I mean, what on earth he's doing there? I haven't got a clue. Just clear it, get rid of it. And then all of a sudden, after 77 minutes, they're given that. It's really good from Rice. They get themselves into the game. That was their first shot on target. Yeah. So they get a point after the game after being 2-0 down, and that's a really good result for them in the end.
It certainly is. As for Chelsea, 3 league games unbeaten. Not the result they wanted, but green shoots for Pochettino's Lemons?
Yeah. Chelsea were outstanding. They really were. And I think they've been outstanding this season up until the final third. Yeah. But today they sort of went with 2 10s with Gallagher and Palmer. I thought Jackson would have played, but obviously he's not been doing it. And if you just look at here, the setup, Gallagher and Palmer in that setup, and Mudryk, there was freedom, there was rotation, there was 1-touch, 2-touch passing, and there was flooding of the box. I always talk to you about strikers and where they should be. Yeah. No matter if you're a striker or not, get in the box where you can affect the game. And I thought Mudryk, after the tough start he's had, I thought he was excellent. Gallagher running into space. Palmer obviously used to sort of playing that false number 10, false number 9 role, number 10 role in there at Man City. But I just think they had something different today. And if it wasn't for the stupid mistakes that they made later on in the game, this game should have been dead and buried. And I mean, we talked about that finish. I think he means it, Gary.
He's not looked at the goal.
He's seen the keeper off his line. Give him some credit for once.
I'll give him credit. I still don't think he meant it.
No, you don't think he means it?
I don't either.
But do you know what? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
Who cares? You spotted an incident. Should Arsenal have had a penalty?
Absolutely.
It's very similar to the Onana one earlier in the season.
No, yeah, they should have had a penalty. There's no doubt. I mean, Sanchez just comes there and he wipes him out. Jesus. What's key for me is he actually catches him in the head. Yeah. Look, he goes right through him here. And it's a terrible challenge. Yeah. How on earth can the VAR not think that's a penalty? And the referee?
He don't get the ball, does he, there?
Oh, he's nowhere near the ball. No. Clears him out, wipes him out. Of course it should have been a penalty.
Yeah. Wow.
Do you think so?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
OK,